want to tell you the story about when our truck and camper burnt and the camper exploded, and we were so lucky that we weren't in it, or we might not be here today. And so this is a story that happened. We were out moose hunting. This is a moose I harvested, and a 140 whitetail with a bunch of stickers on it. And this is the camper that burnt. After I painted it camo, all these vehicles were set up to just about go anywhere. And I really enjoyed this camper. Now it all revolves around propane reverts to liquid form when it's negative 44 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was that cold on that trip. Now, we went to retrieve my moose, and I opened the second propane tank so that we'd have heat in the camper when we got back. This is all that's left of a memory of the license plate that was on that truck and how it was scorched from when it burnt. Scary, scary times when I think about it. We were just lucky enough we were retrieving this moose and out there. But at the same time, I haven't done a C-tags video for a long time. And I just want to show you the actual deer that I harvested that year. Brought back memories why we use C-tags. Because all these points, it's a 140 class deer. Because it got so many deductions, but it's a beautiful old bush deer. And I wanted to touch base a little bit on C-tags. Now, a lot of people, I talk to them about C-tags, they go, whatever, it is what it is, the current system's the current system. And for me, that doesn't cut it. Because I like right is right. And complacency, it's up to you. But the C-tag system uses science to actually give credit to these beautiful animals. And credit where credit is due. Now, I can't believe, if you're a true sportsman, that you would allow people to deduct from these beautiful animals. I can't stomach it. It's just, they're so magnificent, these animals, and so beautiful. And I went around my trophy room and went through pictures and looked, and almost every deer that I've harvested throughout my life has deductions, and lots of deductions. Look at this deer, split G2s, deductions. You lose all those points. And most of these deer, at a glance, you can just see they're going to lose a lot of points. And of course, our deer are dark here. They're beautiful. And you take a look. I just went through my trophy room and just took a quick video of just all the deer that I have and the antlers. And almost all of them have sticker points that are deducted. And of course, with C-tags, there's no deductions, total volume. If you watch the perfect score on this channel, I've got quite a few episodes, and they show the flaws in the system and how come there's so many ties in the Boone and Crockett. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it just, when I was doing this video, I just looked at that deer, and I looked around my trophy room, and almost every deer that I have harvested hunting for the last 50-some years has deductions. No matter what room I go into, I took this video and just show you the amount of deductions that are deducted from these deer. Every deer I look at, I mean, just deductions after deductions or different points. Even this deer that I just harvested, beautiful little 4-point, but take a look at the stickers this thing's got, and those are all deductions. Anyway, I'll get back to the story. We were out moose hunting, and it was cold. We had 2 truck and campers out there, both very good 4-wheel drives, set up to just about go anywhere. We were way back. There was a lot of snow that year. We had tire chains on the tires, winches, and we'd got in there. Now, you've seen on this channel a lot of the trucks that I've built. All these trucks were built very, very tough, and so was this truck and camper. Probably the best truck that I'd ever built. And after it burnt, I took the powertrain and put it in this van. Now, with the van, I'd also used quads. But back then, I had my old 1974 Arctic Cat I used for years and years and years to retrieve the moose. It was modified. It would start in super cold weather, and it was reliable. And I used a bolt-action Parker Hale, again, because of the reliability in those extreme cold temperatures. Now, the rest of this is just video of animals that are around the yard here while I tell you this story, because when I think back how lucky we were, that actual camper would have exploded. And what happened And it's not really common knowledge, and there's not much on the internet about it. But propane is probably one of the most reliable fuel sources you can have. But at negative 44 degrees Fahrenheit, it turns to liquid. And we'd been camped out there for 3 days. We ended up getting a beautiful deer. Another friend of mine got a deer. And that day, I ended up harvesting that moose that I showed you. Now, before we took off, I opened the second propane tank. We'd been running on the one tank for over 3 days. It was cold, extremely, extremely cold. And I remember we talked about it, so it's got to be over 40 below. But we were used to these temperatures. We'd hunted them before. But we had no idea that that second tank of propane had turned to liquid because of those extreme cold temperatures. And when the heater demanded more fuel, when that thermocoupler opened up, instead of gas, it was liquid. And we wouldn't have known that had not the RCMP that had came and did the inspection of the fire told us that's exactly what happened, because we had no idea what happened, but they had seen it before. Those cold temperatures, when that liquid propane hit that hot heater in the camper, it must have went off like a bomb, because I know a few years later, we always camped at that same spot. I found the actual chrome vent off the heater, and it was about 100 and some yards away from where the truck was camped. Now, we were lucky. It was camped far away from everything else. The other truck and camper was quite a ways away. The trailer with the other animals in it. And so that's all that burnt, but it must have exploded. Now, can you imagine if I would have opened that tank and went back to sleep or went into the camper to have something to eat and it exploded? Unbelievable. We're very, very lucky to be here. After we got back and the truck was burnt, we threw everything on one trailer and we took off with the other truck and camper. We had no place to sleep, so we went home. We had traveled all night to get home, unloaded everything. Next morning, got up, took the meat to the meat packer, and took back up there, stopping it at the RCMP station in Loon Lake to tell them what happened. And they followed us in and did the inspection. And he told us the stories about different things that they knew about and how lucky we were not to be in that camper. Now, we had brought the other trailer up, and the truck camper burnt, but the actual cab and the front end of the truck did not burn. Just the camper burnt. We ended up starting it, putting 2 tires on the back of the truck and driving it on the trailer and taking it home, even though it was completely burnt. I lost my high back bucket seats, my beautiful leather bucket seats inside there that I'd had in so many different vehicles. Now, I also wanted to show you this little quick video of this little calf that we got at the yard here and show you a picture that I found on the internet. This has got to be the cutest picture on the internet. Isn't that something? But thank you very much for watching. Please donate to cancer, and we'll see you in the next video.